With so much to see and do in Austria, it surprises me that Austria is one of those countries that slips under the radar. When most people think of Austria, they think of rolling green hills, skiing, Christmas markets, and the sound of music. And while the country does have all of this, it also has so much more. So I'm going to be sharing with you reasons why you should visit Austria. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, I'm Jasmine. Thank you for joining me. Let's go. Austria is one of those amazing all-year places where there is something for everyone. You obviously have world-class skiing in the winter, and the entire country blooms in the summer. Combine this with an amazing culture and really kind people, and you can see why people adore the city so much. What makes this place so special to me is the Austrian approach to life. Austrians cherish Gemütlichkeit, which means comfort and coziness. You'll find that Austrians live their life more slowly and comfortably. So if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of your usual life, Austria is the place to be. Let's start with when the best time to visit Austria is, which will depend on what you want to do whilst here, but overall, the shoulder seasons between April and May and September and October is the ideal time to visit Austria. It may rain a little in the spring, but it's still a terrific time to visit Vienna or Hofburg, because the tourist season is just getting started. June through August is peak season, which means that both crowds and costs rise. It starts to heat up and is a great time to go for a swim and soak up some rays. It's also the time of year for the Salzburg Festival, the Vienna Festival, and the Rainbow Parade. Winter in Austria does get cold, but there's something magical about getting into the festive spirit and strolling through the Vienna Christmas market. And if you enjoy skiing, now is the time to visit the Austrian Alps before relaxing at one of the beautiful ski resorts. So where exactly in Austria should you go to? Well, you might immediately think of Vienna when planning your trip. And whilst Vienna is beautiful, there are so many places which you might not even have heard of that are definitely worth a visit. The first one being Salzkammergut. You might recognize this region from the sound of music. Known as the Austrian Lake District, Salzkammergut has over 60 lakes. On top of that, you have never-ending mountain ranges and sweeping Alpine hills. There is so much to do here, from hiking and cycling to golfing and water sports. The region is also scattered with amazing thermal baths and spas for you to relax in. Here you have Mondsee, which is a town located on the northern edge of Mondsee Lake and is the perfect base for exploring the Salzkammergut region. This is where you will find Basilica St. Michael, which is a stunning Catholic church and the film set for the wedding in The Sound of Music. Entrance to the church is free of charge. There's a good range of restaurants and cafes, and Mondee's Alpine Beach is just a 5-minute walk from the town center, where there is a cool aqua fun park. Nearby you have Lake Wolfgangsee, which is just south of Mondsee. It is surrounded by stunning mountains. Take a walk around the charming village of St. Wolfgang. You will be amazed by the many pretty buildings with ornate facades and the countless colorful flowers that give the center of town a real fairy tale feeling. You may have heard of Innsbruck as being just for skiers, snowboarders, and winter sports enthusiasts. However, this is not just a ski resort town. The city itself is probably most famous for its beautiful old town, which is usually very busy in the peak seasons, but it is quite easy to avoid the crowds if you wanted to. There's a few beautiful parks, some cool bars, and the town is very bike-friendly. The views of the mountains are stunning here, and there are tons of outdoor activities to do, and you can ski all year round here. The last one I will mention here is Salzburg. It is the 4th largest city in Austria, and the home of Mozart and the sound of music. Here you will see streets filled with buskers, opera singers, and all manner of harmonic performers. You should visit the historic palace of Schloss Leopoldskron. It is 20 minutes from the city center. It sits upon the banks of a shimmering blue lake and has a stunning mountainous backdrop. It is completely free to enter, and I highly recommend it. Here you also have the Getreidegasse, which is Salzburg's best-known shopping street, full of traditional confectioners, tailors, and weavers alongside international brands. There are lots of cute restaurants and cafes here too. One of the interesting highlights of this street is its ornamental and elaborate guild signs protruding from the building facades. It is such a beautiful area to wander around. And for great views, try the Hohensalzburg fortress, the medieval castle that watches over the city and gives you a real panoramic vantage point. So now you have an idea of where you should go in Austria. Let's go over some mistakes tourists make when visiting this country. When visiting Austria, or anywhere for that matter, it is always a good idea to try to be respectful and a good tourist. You will find most people here talk in low tones in public places. Loudness is usually associated with drunk tourists, so keep that in mind if you know you can be quite loud when excited. When dining out, you do need to ask for the bill, as the waiter will normally only bring it after being asked. It is not customary to tip, however, rounding the bill up or adding 10% is very much appreciated here. Punctuality is big here, so if you have a tour or a meal booked in advance but you are running late, be sure it is only 5 minutes late or you might have a very unhappy host. I hope this video has helped you to know the best times to visit, where to visit, and what to keep in mind when visiting Austria. No matter what you love to do, Austria likely has something just for you. So get out there and start booking your trip to this truly beautiful destination. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more travel guides and insider tips. Let me know in the comments where you would love to see next. Until our next adventure, stay safe, Travel Tribe.